everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Motogp 24 career winner. Before we get into today's on-track action, just want to bring your attention to the bike development. Look where Castrol Honda is. We're apparently midway through the pack. We're slightly behind Grassini, head of factory Honda. We're way ahead of our sister team LCR Idemitsu. But just wanted to show basically how apparently good this bike is. I don't believe it, to be brutally honest. Now also, if we go to relationships with teams, the only two teams that technically I don't have the backing to sign for is Pramac and Factory Ducati. Every other team will have no problem taking me. So by the end of the season, the goal is to get to superstar level if we can. Other than that, next year we'll be trying to aim for a factory bike, so one of the factory teams. So it looks like we have good footing with everyone. So we do have the kind of pick of teams next year if they come in for me, which is good. So yeah, that's a kind of a positive to start the last few races of the season, knowing that there should be a lot of teams in for me. Now, today we are off to Thailand, a track that is very stop-start in some parts, a long straights, heavy braking. It's going to be a fun race, but also a difficult one on my Honda. Let's get into it. I'm looking forward to this one. So after a very, very wet practice on Friday, we are down at P15. Top Honda, which I suppose is the positive of it, but we're still 0.9 off now. It does look like Martin and Pecco and Bastianini have a massive chunk of time over the rest of the field as usual. It was a bit of a struggle. It was, again, it's one of those laps where I managed to risk it all and put it there, but it's not consistent. I won't be able to do that lap after lap in a race, so we're going to probably struggle a bit in the rain. It looks like potentially tomorrow for the sprint it will be wet, so that would be an interesting one. But it looks like maybe potentially we could get a flag to flag on Sunday. I'm not too sure, but it does look like maybe the conditions on Sunday might be mixed. But it's time for qualifying. Let's see if we can put in a just as good lap as we did in practice. So unfortunately in qualifying we actually went a bit slower, but 4 tenths slower. Zach up in P4 doing pretty much a lap time that we managed to on Friday's practice. Track conditions just never felt great really. They were pretty similar to what we had on Friday, but for whatever reasons couldn't get them to click. So it's going to be slightly further down the grid than we wanted. We have qualified 2 Hondas, which is always a positive, but just lacking something. Maybe in the racing with a bit of slipstream, bit of a toe, bit of a wheel in front of me, I might be able to do something. But it's going to be a tough weekend, and we haven't ridden in the dry all weekend. So if we have a dry race, it's going to be a real adventure into the unknown. So for the sprint, 2 fresh soft wet tyres and half a tank of fuel. Small change to the setup. Pretty much a gunball setup at this point. We're going to take a chance, but we'll see how it goes. We are P20 of P23. There's not much we can really lose in this. We're going to risk a lot in the sprint and the opening laps. It's going to be really difficult, but hopefully people will take it a bit more tentative than I will, and I can make up positions. It's going to be critical we get off the line good. It's an okay start. We're going to risk it on Nakagami immediately. Good run out of turn 1. Good run. A lot of people going slow on the straight. Very strange. We made a lot of positions up here early thanks to some weird decisions being made by my fellow competitors. Like I said though, might go on these mistakes from others at the start and try and get away. Oh! Sat up by one of the Repsols, sitting up a Grassini into me. Gusto, I think, all across the curves is risky. So the inside brakes, we're going to try and just squeeze him. Just don't have the performance, but we look like we've held on for now. And we have. First mistake into this one. Not sure who that is down. But it's been one of those sprints so far where I'm not fast enough to catch my teammates in front, and the guys behind are just slow enough that they're not catching me really. So it's been one of those very dull ones so far. We are pushing a lot to catch Marini, but some sectors I gain, some sectors I lose. So it turns out it was Pecco last lap who crashed in the hairpin. So another DNF for the Italian, which is no surprise at this point. Last lap of the weekend for me. Good lap as well. Let's just put us onto the back wheel almost of Marini. Maybe an attack can come in the last 2 laps. Oh, Martin has crashed out of the lead just as we go for the move. Yellow flag, so we have to cut. Oh, red.
the riders return to the pits, let's take a look at the final results of this race.
So, it's something I've never seen before. The race was red flagged on the penultimate lap, which means it's declared a full result as we're over 2/3 distance. I have P12. It's a shame he didn't leave the brake off from me because I was pretty much level with him, but we ended up P12, which I'm taken aback by all this, really, because it was just went from coming out of turn 1 after setting my fastest lap of the race to lining up to a move on Rainy to checker flag. So we didn't get the last couple of laps. 2 factory Hondas in the top 11, which is something I've never seen. So Marquez wins. Bastianini and Vignales round out the podium. And yeah, it was a strange one overall. It looked like Pedro Costa and Jorge Martin crashed together, and then maybe Binders actually, because I didn't see him crash at all. So 3 of them still off altogether and red flag. So yeah, what an interesting sprint that was. So for the Grand Prix on Sunday, it is dry and going to get cloudy, so we're not going to have any chance around. So these are my first laps of the weekend in the dry. So it's going to be a lottery of how we get on, really. Usually by the time we get to Sunday, I have my best performances, but I don't think this week will be the same. Alright, let's go. What can we do? Lights held for a long time there. And a typical Honda start for me. We've gone backwards, but we're going to try something in turn 1. But wide, take a sweeping line, does people down. Oh, we're going to get a red flag. I'm down. Red flag. 2 red flags in 2 races. No surprise. We will make the restart. Mir and Bastianini are out. But we will get the quick start. Even though technically I crashed, but we'll say no more. I had nothing I could do there. So it is 2 long laps for Rene Bastianini, 2 long laps for Maverick. So hopefully that could put us in the mix of beating a few people. We're now starting P17. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go for the sweeping line and see can I lunge everyone into turn 3. Let's go. Let's get it. Slightly, no, equally as bad. I thought it was better. Oh, more riders down. Gonna cost me my run. Other people have been balked. I think that's what happened in the first race too, is people actually didn't have a bad run. They just kind of got balked by other people, but we're up somehow into the top 10, maybe? We are now. First track limits running, we'll take it. Unfortunately, we are already losing a lot of speed back to front guys. So, oh, Jorge Martinez crashed. I cannot believe it. We've made an absolute balls of turn 3. Jorge Martinez crashed in both races. That's going to be another warning for me. That's 3 already in 2 laps. Struggling a lot in the dry. Bike is not set up very well for these conditions. Oh, another bike down in front, and I believe Vignales has crashed doing his long lap. Oh, Maverick, what a weekend he's had. So we're still somehow in the top 10. I think I just need to stay on the bike and not get a long lap, and I might get some decent points here. We are becoming a bit of a roadblock. But that is okay, because we can break a bit deep and kind of keep onto our position. So you can see why we lost to Jack and Rins over the last few laps. Just don't have the outright speed, but people behind are getting stuck behind me, and then riders behind them are diving them. So we're kind of getting away a bit scot-free in some of these incidents because we're not being passed. So unfortunately, Oliveira has gotten us, and I think he's led us under a bit of attack just where he passed us. Oh, we're deep into one as well. We got a bit of slipstream. Just look at the way they get away from us. Can we do anything on the brakes? We can try and go around the outside, but I'd imagine Digi is just strong enough and smart enough not to leave that happen, and he is. You can get the cut back, but all it does is just neutralise his run for the first kind of 100 yards, and then he gets away. So that's P12. Goal still, of course, will be just to score a single point, and that'll be P15. Oh, Pecco's crashed again. Both Pecco and Jorge Martin are throwing this Grand Prix away. So I'll gladly take more points if he has stayed on the ground, which I don't believe he has. I think he's rejoined ahead of us. Ah, that's very harsh. We're only on lap 6 and we have 1 warning away from a long lap. That means we need to be pretty much perfect for over half race distance. Another crash in the final corner. It looks to be Miguel who's gone down. Out of P3 somehow, the trackers Aprilia. Another fast lap, we're down into 29s. Every lap we kind of just go slightly quicker. But we need to be careful, that long lap is looming. Oh, aggressive move from Digia there. Forcing his way through. Wonder is there going to be a warning for that? There isn't. Marco Martin's also back in this race somehow. They both tipped off at the same corner and rejoined. Oh, Marquez has now gone out of podium positions. It's been a crash fest here. And we're actually catching Raul Fernandez as well. But we're very much on the limit because there's a GP23 basically on my back wheel everywhere. It looks like Raul maybe has some tyre issues. Ah, Pedro's down now. He's taking Frankie Morbidelli with him. So, I still think I'm in with a chance of winning this one. It's been such a messy crash fest. Zeki goes around the outside. We're going to just release the brake. But realistically, that Ducati's just going to ride around me anyway. Look at the current podium. Aleix Espargaro, Alex Rins and Jack Miller. You get some odds before the race if that's what the podium finishes like. But somehow, I just think some of them are going to crash. Judging by the way the race has gone. And I'm well wide. I'm trying to just hold it. I've lost the position, but I didn't get a warning. And we lunge them into the last corner. They're so much better through the change direction here because their front end stays down, mine doesn't. Oh, Leish is down now. Can you believe it? I did curse him. But I don't know who's going to win this race. We're still in P12 with all these people crashing. But I think they're... Well, it says Leish has crashed, but he's still in P1. So did he have a massive lead? Do not know, but that is Zarco taking a position off us. Oh, Zarco's crashed. We're wide. There wasn't contact, but it doesn't look good for me when I went up the inside and he crashes. He's now out. I don't know how many people are left in this race. I think we're guaranteed points even if we go backwards like we currently are. Final corner, we're okay in terms of gap behind. We're going to just try and take a handy, prioritise our exit, which we do, and up to the line. It's going to be P12. Not a great result, but that is where our life is at the moment.
Let's take a look at the final classification of the Motogp race before the traditional podium ceremony.
So Aleix wins it from Miller and Miguel Oliveira. What a weird podium. Pecco, who crashed early on, gets back to P4. Marquez crashed, he was 6th. Digi and Aleix, or Alex Rins actually crashed as well. It's a very strange race. 17 seconds off still. So it was just kind of a miserable race for me because I had no speed and I was only kind of sticking in there because people were making mistakes around me and it was kind of promoting me up. But from P20 on the grid to P12 again, and we're into the points, which is always good. So again, we're showing off why we deserve to be on one of the factory bikes next year, which hopefully we will get a chance at. So with 2 rounds to go, we are now definitely not going to catch Aleix after his race win here in Thailand. 1 point between me and Frankie, so it's just going to go down to the final 2 rounds. Can we keep ahead of Frankie in the championship? I'd say no, but stranger things have happened. So that is where we're going to end it for today's episode. We have 2 races left. Malaysia, which is a track that has a bit of everything. I think we'll struggle there because I think there's just so much going on. Long lap, more places for me to lose out, so that's going to be a struggle. Valencia is Valencia. It's a real nadry little track. It's going to be difficult, so we're going to have 2 tough rounds to finish the season. Hopefully we can get it done soon and get into season 2 and get ourselves a juicy factory contract and hopefully some better equipment. I'm going to end there. Hope you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Slán go full.